Welcome to this video series where we're going to dive deeper into the elements so that you can maximize your talent without having to max out your energy. In this video, we are going to dive into the air element. We have Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius here. This is really the element that likes to gather information. It's always looking for new opportunities to learn and to grow, and to not just gather the information, but also ability to share that information with others. They're always on the move, mostly mentally, and really seek out opportunities to be able to share that with others. This can also turn into a bit of a nervousness where they're trying to hide from what they're actually feeling by just consuming more input, and especially in today's day and age, it's hard with all of the information around us to distinguish what information are you taking in you and what is the information that you're going to leave out because it's not suitable for your needs. The biggest lesson for air signs really is to turn that need, that craving for information into enlightening others. So don't be afraid to share your unique insights and the way that you take concepts that other people have a hard time grasping or understanding, turn them into really practical ways of how to apply these in their lives. The very first sign that we have is Gemini, and Gemini is a mutable air sign. And remember, mutable was the sign that likes to move around a lot. So Gemini is really the learner. It likes to take in all of the information, thinks everything is interesting, and is constantly searching for the next thing it can learn. It loves to chat. Most Geminis are extremely chatty and very open to conversations. They want to see your point of view. They listen and they hear on a very different level than most of us do. Geminis are able to see it from different perspectives, and they hear it in a very objective way. So they don't necessarily put all of their emotions and opinions upon it. They see it from a very, it's like they take a distance. They don't put themselves into the conversation, but they see the conversation as it's happening, and they don't necessarily judge it right away. They're very open and free-minded to see what is happening and what is taking place. So in your business, this really translates into being an amazing storyteller, because you absorb so much information and take it all in. You'll be able to translate this in beautiful stories. Written, spoken, mostly written though. Most Geminis feel safer if they be behind the written words, whereas being in front of people or in front of camera is not necessarily something they're super comfortable with, but it is something that you're really able to do. You're like a wordsmith. You can really use words in a way that no one else can. And this in your business translates in being much easier to tell people your story and what it is that you've gone through. Now, this again also one of the challenges, because you like to detach yourself from your emotions. So when it comes to sharing your story, your way of starting a business or things that happen in your life, you might think like other people are not waiting for this information, but they are. Embrace also your personal side of this. Embrace that people want to hear from you. And this is when you are in business, when you are your own brand, people don't buy necessarily what you offer. They buy because of your story. They buy because they're intrigued by who you are and what you have to share. So own that talent, because you really do have this incredible talent to translate things that you've learned, to translate all the lessons that you've learned in your own life, and to put that beautifully out there into the world. So embrace that quality and don't be afraid to share that with others. One of your other challenges might be that you're hiding your emotions, because you can be quite rational And because of this rational feeling, you might be able to separate emotions from the things that are happening. But you are a human being. You have emotions. And if you keep ignoring them too long, then it's really hard to embrace it and to let it be part of your business. But like I said, people, they really are drawn to what you have to share. So don't be shy, don't be afraid to share it from a place of love, to share it from a place of wanting to help other people. And trust me, people are really waiting for you to share what your insights are, not just in your business, but also what you have learned as a person. The next sign that we have up is Libra. And Libra is a cardinal air sign, which means that Libra has more of this startup energy. Now, Libra is considered the diplomat of all the signs. It is the sign that really likes to hear all sides and then still doesn't decide. It's like it keeps like in the middle. So it doesn't judge others. It doesn't force other people to make decisions. It's really somebody who stands on the sidelines, sees all of the opinions, and then can mediate between different parties so they can actually eventually come together, which is something that also works really, really well in your business. You're able to make peace, make things beautiful. Libra is ruled by Venus, and Venus likes to beautify everything. It likes to put this feminine touch and this beautiful sort of veil around everything. And that's what Libras do. So probably in your business, when you put something out, it usually looks really pretty. It usually has this, it looks finished. Like, it's not like you just throw something out there because it feels good. No, you have thought about it, and this is the way that you want to put things out into the world. Libras also love to really allow themselves to stay in that neutral zone, which is beautiful in your business, that you don't jump into conclusions, you don't get overly emotional or overly rational. You're kind of in this middle space. But this is also a word of caution that if you stay in that middle place too long, then you're not able to make decisions. So for you, it's super important to set up proper structures. Because of this not wanting to make decisions, this kind of indecisiveness, you also can tend to go to procrastination, where you're like, yeah, I will make that decision. And you push the decision forward so much that in the end, nothing gets done, because being in business means we need to make decisions. So for you, it is super, super important to set up the right structures, to be able to hold yourself accountable that decisions simply have to be made. And when you make one decision, that doesn't mean that all of the other doors are closing. No, you have to make a decision to see what works and what doesn't. Because you're an air sign, and air signs, they kind of like to flow a little bit like the air, and making decisions, like coming down to earth, is making things super practical. So what the earth elements do, everything is practical. It's just like, this is it, let's do it. Where you are more higher up, so you have to come down to make the decisions, become more practical, so that then you can let yourself up again and be in that space of flow. I know this sounds like a contradiction, but let me say it again. If you put up the structure, if you have the things in place that need to get done, the decisions that need to be made, you can go up there. Be more in your flowy world and allow yourself to perceive things differently. But you need the structure. If you want your business to grow, if you want to reach the next level, you have to have your structures in place so that you can stay in that creative zone, make things more beautiful, be the peacemaker, be the diplomat, but structure has to be there. And this is really for all of the air signs, because they're more up in the air and more go with the flow type of view. They have to have the structure. It's almost like a balloon. Like when you just let a balloon go, it just flies everywhere. And there's like no structure. It's gone. You actually lose the balloon. But if you have a string attached to the balloon is still rooted, so it stays with you. You can still look at it. It can still flow. It can still go where it wants. But it also stays with you. It's the same for you. Create the structure so you have that string. So your business goes where you want it to go. But you can also be up there experiencing all the flow and then coming back down. So it's a little bit of a dance, which is more so for Libra than for the other air signs. But it's really important for you to know that that is what you need. Not just what you need, that's really what it's like a necessity. It's not like, maybe I need it, maybe. No, it's like you need it. You have to have that in place. The next air sign, the last air sign, is Aquarius. And Aquarius is a fixed air sign. And Aquarius is really the most revolutionary thinker that we have among us. Aquarius kind of, what I said with Libra, they kind of flow on a different space. Aquarius goes even above that. It just goes so high that we don't even know where it is anymore. Aquarius it just thinks on a completely different level. So all the air signs are thinkers. But where Gemini is the practical thinker, Libra is the more, like the beauty thinker. It just makes everything more pretty and more feminine. And then Aquarius is like way out there, way outside the box. So it can actually feel quite lonely if you have a lot of Aquarius energy in your chart, because your way of thinking is so different. Other people simply cannot follow you. But I highly encourage you to really embrace that uniqueness, because you have something that no one else has, which is true for everybody. But when it comes to Aquarius, is a lot of people who have a lot of Aquarius energy in their childhood, they experienced people that simply didn't understand what they were talking about or what they were expressing, that they're kind of silenced. So if you have a lot of Aquarius energy, I really recommend you to allow yourself to be your unique self. Be your quirky little person that just does things differently, does it your way. And it's not something to be ashamed of. It's actually something to be celebrated, because most Aquarius actually are the ones who come up with ideas that in a few years, we're all going to follow. We're all going to do that too. So you can lead the way. You're really a visionary when it comes to coming up with new things, especially in your business. Don't be afraid to go into a direction that surprises everybody or that shocks everybody. Your uniqueness is what makes you unique, and that's what also makes your business a success. So when it comes to the challenges in your business, it's a little bit the same as for Libra, where you need the grounding, you need to come back, you need the structure so you can stay in your visionary view. At the same time, you are from the air signs. Aquarius is the most detached from its emotions. So it might be really difficult to put your emotions into your business and to allow yourself to feel the things that you feel. And I've said this in a previous video that there's no sign that is more emotional than the other. We all experience our emotions. Like there's nothing different about that. But the thing that happens is we process emotions very differently. For Aquarius, there's this kind of separation between the thinking and the emotions, and it can actually like completely detach them. but then you're ignoring your own emotions. So it's really your lesson to put the emotions back into your work, to feel the things that you're feeling. And you don't have to dwell upon them. You don't have to like sit with them and like completely sink into them. What you do have to do is acknowledge that they're there. Acknowledge what these feelings are doing with you. Acknowledging what is happening with your emotions. Because you cannot just be out there when you're trying to build a business. When you're trying to build a business, you have to have some method in place to do the things that are necessary to grow your business. And you are kind of like an idea factory. Like ideas just pop out of you all the time, which is also really great. But it also distracts you from doing the work that is needed to grow your business. So if you feel an idea pop up again, it's really good to have like a jar, like an idea jar, where you still write it down so you are doing something with it. You put it in a jar and you think about it. Because one of the things that you love to think, but you also like to hop from one thing to the other. It's also a little bit avoiding of to do something with those ideas or to actually make them come together. So it's really good for you if you put those in a jar and every once in a while you pick up the jar and see, okay, I had this amazing idea. Do I still feel like it's something that I want to pursue? If not, put it away and I'm sure you will come up with even more and different ideas. But you have to train yourself to focus. Think about the funnel. You have to go through the funnel to just focus yourself on what's important in your business. So I usually recommend to people who have a lot of Aquarius energy to not have more than like 2 or 3 projects at the same time. And actually, I think 3 is already pushing it. Because you're so easily distracted in a good way, because there's so many ideas, that focusing on those 2 is constantly bringing your attention back. So you go up, you go out in the funnel, and then you need to come back. So it is that connection that you have with your higher self, with your intuition, but you need to keep bringing it back down. You need to keep channeling it back down. That's the most important lesson for Aquarius. So we had the Geminis, we have the Libras, and we have the Aquarius as air signs. They all love to learn. They all love to take in all the information. Very rational. They just like to see things from different point of view and kind of detach from their emotions. So for all of the air signs, make sure that you embrace your emotions, that you feel them, that you acknowledge them, that they are there, and set up the structure so that you can be in your spacey little place and still get things done. So are you ready to take the next step and take your business to the next level? To experience more joy, more ease, and just overall happiness? Then I have the amazing offer for you. Every quarter, I open the doors to my group program, which is called the Quarterly Sessions, where you are going to learn how to plan your quarter ahead based on your energy. So you're going to dive into what your energies are in your astrological blueprint. You're also going to learn more about what it means, what is happening in the sky at the moment, so you can create a plan based on your personal energy. So not what some marketing guru is saying, what you should make as a schedule, as a planning. You base your planning purely on your personal energy. That shift is amazing because you'll be able to stay with how you feel instead of pushing yourself and grinding to trying to make something work when you're not even in your creative peak. So when you learn, when you are the most creative, when you know when to rest, when you know where you're communicative really high, if you know all of that, you can plan your quarter ahead and then focus on what you're truly good at. To plan all of your tasks in the right time so that it takes way less time, way less effort. It really allows you to have more joy in your business, more free time, because if you focus on what to do when, you have so much time left over because things will flow so much more easy. So I cannot wait to see you in there.